you heard about Yarn Lane, a TV show dedicated to knitting, crochet and all things yarn, bringing you demonstrations from our expert guests as well as the latest tools. And find out what's coming up on the show by following us on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to our email newsletter or visit the programme guide on our website at www.yarnlane.com.
Follow Sewing Street and Yarn Lane on Facebook and Instagram to keep up to date with what's coming up on the show, as well as being the first to know about our amazing offers. Get involved with our competitions that are exclusive to social media. And pick up some top tips from us too. In need of a crafting fix? There are so many ways you can watch Sewing Street and Yarn Lane. Sewing Street is live from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. every day on Freeview 73 and Sky 670. Alternatively, if you want to watch us on a tablet or on the move, you can tune in to our YouTube channel, the Sewing Street app, or the websites at www.sewingstreet.com and www.yarnlane.com. You can watch past shows on Sky 670 from 1 p.m. every day, as well as our YouTube channel, the app, and our website. Yarn Lane is on from 12 till 1 p.m. Visit our programme guide to find out when and what's on. So, you never have to spend a minute without us.
Have you heard about all of the different ways you can shop with Sewing Street and Yarn Lane? You can either shop on our websites, sewingstreet.com and yarnlane.com. You can also order by phone by calling our friendly UK customer service team. For Sewing Street, call 0800 001 4433 and for Yarn Lane, call 0800 4700 600. And don't forget about the Sewing Street app. Here you can shop all of the Sewing Street products as well as watch the live shows from anywhere. You can download the app onto your smartphone or your tablet by simply searching Sewing Street in your app store. And one final thing, no matter how many times you check out on Sewing Street or Yarn Lane in one day, you will only pay one postage and packaging. Happy shopping!
We know that shopping online can be a confusing and sometimes daunting task. And sometimes all you want to do is talk to a human being. Our family-run customer service team are on call 24/7. Full of friendly, warm-hearted individuals, all trained to make your shopping experience as easy and enjoyable as possible. Not only will they take your order, they'll also help and guide you on your shopping journey, so you never miss out.
Sewing Street have our very own app. You can now watch and shop from anywhere. Simply download the app from your app store onto your smartphone or tablet, then log in or create an account, and you're done. You can watch us live from anywhere, browse all our recently played items and pre-orders so you never miss out on any show deals, and message the studio to say hello at any time. And remember, you can check out as many times as you want and only pay 1 P&P all day.
Keep up to date with what's on Sewing Street and Yarn Lane, as well as all the latest news and special offers by signing up to our email newsletters. For Sewing Street, head on over to www.sewingstreet.com, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and you're done. It's exactly the same for Yarn Lane. Head on over to www.yarnlane.com, scroll down to the bottom of the homepage, type in your email address, click the envelope, and that's it. You are now subscribed to both Sewing Street's and Yarn Lane's email newsletters. Never miss out on the latest news and special offers ever again.
Good afternoon, welcome to Yarn Lane. I know it looks exactly the same, doesn't it? Except there's a jumper behind me. We haven't placed that very well, Jeremy. It's only half a jumper, 1.5 jumpers in there. That's Jeremy's department, everyone. And that was Jeremy's department. Anyway, welcome to Yarn Lane. We are the only shopping channel in the whole of the UK that is totally and utterly dedicated to everything yarn, whether it be knitting or crochet or macrame or whatever. You are loving it. We are slowly getting back to normal again, as you can see, because we've got West Yorkshire Spinners and we've got Katharine here as well. So I'm going to take you to the website first of all, just to show you the website, www.yarnlane.com. There you go. Now, before we click on watch the show live, I just want you to look at the top there, because we've got we can go down, either down or across, right? All of the different categories there. Yarn, knits, not knits, needles and hooks, patterns and books, tools and storage, last chance, everything like that. All is there for you to go and have a look. Thank you, Katharine. In the shop, there's even a book clearance there. Now, also, look. If you're not bought from Yarn Lane before, there's a free P&P. No, scroll back up, sorry. Look, off your first order. Right, okay, that's lovely. The new boy has done such a brilliant job. What's he called? Paul has done such a lovely job on the websites. They both isn't his name Paul? Yeah, it's Paul, isn't it? I know his surname because I was calling him his surname for ages. Anyway, scroll down. Lovely website. Now, if you want to see what we're doing today, you need to go back up to the top. Sorry. Click on I was looking for the watch live, but it's up there on this one, isn't it? Click on watch live. You will get a screen with me on it. Then there's a box there where you can send a message to the studio. And then scroll down the page. You will see everything that we've got on today's show. Their kits, their books, their needles, their pom-pom makers for some reason. I don't think we'll be demonstrating that unless we run out of time. Right, here we go. West Yorkshire Spinners. They are what they say. They spin wool in West Yorkshire. And it's the best quality. It's so beautiful. All the wools they do. This is from their retreat range. So now this, first of all, you will need to buy this book. If you choose, I've got 4 bundles of wool today, but you need to buy the book. But if you think, right, it's $9.95. Just wait till you see how many patterns are in here. It's a gorgeous little book, this. First of all, it's ring bound, so you can open it and put it out flat. So this is the range of the whole wool. Obviously, we haven't got all of those today. We've only got ones for the different projects that we're doing today. But they're absolutely stunning. We might sell some of those. If you go to the yarns on the website, some of those will be there. Anyway, look. So there's the Shiloh. There's the Grace. There's the Frida, which are the two on the stands behind me. My friends Frida and Grace behind me. There's also Bodhi. There's also Uma. And that's it. That's all your patterns. So let's just have a look. So you've got a really lovely big jumper there. Very designer, aren't they? Then you've got that Sunday afternoon cozy, isn't it, that one? I love that one there. The raglan sleeve on the Grace is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Then that one there's an unusual kind of big, is that cable down there? Big cable knit down there. And we haven't got kits for all of these, just so you know. Then you've got that lovely scarf and hat and mittens pattern in there as well. It's just beautiful. And then everything you need to do. So here's the Shiloh, right? Everything you need to know about how to make it. All the pattern, close-ups of the stitches, the lady wearing it, how to do the neckband, the making up. If you want to make a cardigan version, you see, look, there's the cardigan version there. And then we move on to Frida. And then here's the pattern itself. And then all the instructions. Now, that's Frida cardigan. That's Frida jumper, which is we've got a kit for today. Then carrying on, that's the cardigan of Frida there. Then we move on, still on Frida. Shows how thorough these instructions are, doesn't it? Then we're on to Grace, which is beautiful. I've got a kit for Grace as well. I think that's lovely. Those lovely big raglan sleeves there. Beautiful. Tells you what wool they've used, how to fit it, what the sizes are. We'll go through all this with you later because we're going to show samples of how to make a lot of these. Then we've got Bodhi. They've all got meaning. Sorry, I've missed that bit out. So hang on. Shiloh means peace. I think that Shiloh's a lovely name, isn't it? Frida means peaceful. And then Bodhi means awakening and enlightenment. Then, it's unusual, isn't it, that? And then we've got lots of instructions there. Oh, that's if you want to make it in one colour. Then we've got Uma, which means tranquility. Lovely. There's so much in all that for $9.95. Do you know what I mean? There's so, oh, look, that's it in a single colour. That's nice, isn't it? If you make that set in a single colour of green. Just saying. Mittens, the hat, the scarf. And look, and that's lovely as well. All in aid of mind. How brilliant is that? West Yorkshire Spinners, £9.95. 5 hand-knit designs by Chloe Elizabeth Birch for the West Yorkshire Spinners. Fantastic when you got all those patterns in there, isn't it? Lovely. Now, what we've got today is we have got, well, obviously you can see that that is the blue and white version that you saw. That one there is the behind me. That's the caramel and cream version we've got behind you there. I've also got 2 other bundles here, and we'll just go through what they're all for as we go through. But you do need, none of these bundles have got the book in it. So if you buy that bundle of wool there, if you're going to make one of these jumpers, you do need to buy the book to go with it, because the patterns are in there. But 5 patterns for £10, that's £2 a pattern. And how thorough were they? They were pages and pages and pages long, weren't they? Okay, so where shall we start then? With that one there, which is Frida. There she is. So, to make this, right, you will need all of this. Beautiful, isn't it? So, this is reared, sheared and spun in Britain. It's chunky roving retreat, 100% blue-faced Kerry Hill sheep. That one there is called Tranquil. Oh yeah, I'll move that because there's the book on there. You see, buy the book and the wool. Enough here for the largest size. That's pure. So hang on, you get how many of those? You get 5 of those. You get 3 of the pure, and you get 3 of the piece. It's lovely, isn't it? Those colours together are gorgeous, aren't they? And that is enough to make the largest size of this. It's lovely, isn't it? A really beautiful deep neckline there. And then the little like funnel neck there. I wonder if you can, you could wear it down as well if you wanted to, I suppose, couldn't you? Like, oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Mind you, that's quite more theatrical. Really, really lovely. Now, Catherine's going to go through. You are doing this one, aren't you? No, you're not doing this one.
I can talk about it.
Catherine will talk about it, but it's got a lovely stitch detail going on because it looks like there's a little cross stitch there, fleck in there, sort of thing. We're not doing this one, but Catherine's going to talk you through it in a second. 28 to 46 inch chest. Frida, you can make a jumper or a cardigan out of this at $63.99, and remember you have to buy the book for $9.95. It's beautiful, it feels amazing. Okay, so that's that one. We'll come back to that in a second. Then the next one, the blue and white one, which is called Grace. Let me show you the picture of Grace. Oops. There's Grace. I love this one. There's Grace. So in this one, remember you have to buy the book separately. Again, this one's $63.99. Okay, so in this one, you get Soothe, which is the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 balls of that. And then I think that's pure, isn't it? Yeah, and 2 balls of the pure. For $63.99, you need to buy the book for the pattern. Lovely deep raglan sleeve there. This almost reminds me of this knit. I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a fisherman's knit. You know, like a Celtic fisherman's knit or Scottish fisherman's knit. Oh, that's double layer. The neckline's a double layer. And then you've got this really lovely kind of box pattern going on there and the blue rib across the bottom. It's lovely, isn't it? £63.99. Now, I've got 2 other bundles. One is this here. Now, I have no samples to show you for this, but I'm presuming this is the scarf and hat and mittens set in the green. There she is. That's what you're making. Scarf, hat and mittens. $29.99. Beautiful colour, isn't it? They'll need the book, obviously, to get the patterns. It's called Purpose, this. Purpose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls of that. That is stunning, isn't it? $29.99. Again, it's the same chunky roving retreat West Yorkshire Spinners. Blue-faced Kerry Hill sheep, reared, sheared and spun in Britain. Gorgeous. Right, that's the green one for that. Now, I've got a kind of grey one here. Is that for the blue and white one, but in a different colourway?
That's the cable one, I think. Is it?
Oh, that's the cable one. Sorry. Oh, yes, there you go. There you go. There you go. That's this one. There you go. Bodie. There you go. So this kit makes that. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 balls of the grey. And, oh, well, hang on. It's called Soul. And 2 balls of the Harmony. So you get 12 of those, 2 of those. You obviously need to buy the book for the pattern. It's very unusual though, isn't it? Look. I'll just show you. Now you can do cardigan or jumper. Oh, am I right? Or am I making that up?
It's a cardigan.
Oh, just cardigan. Just cardigan. Sorry. It threw me because it was in the different colour there. Yes, it's the brown one that can be the jumper and the cardigan. This is just a cardigan. I haven't got a sample here, I'm afraid, of this one. They sent us a completely different jumper, which we can't show you today. So $79.99 for all of that yarn. Now, are they all knitted on the same size knitting needle?
They are knitted on size 10s and size 12s.
Okay, I've got size 10s here. It matches my shirt, look. Oh, sorry, Jamie. Sorry, Jamie. Size 10 needles, $5.99. At $5.99. Right, okay. If you bought the book, I've just had a question. And you know us, we're totally and utterly upfront and honest with you here. I'll ask Katharine. If I buy the book, but none of these colourways are my bag, can I use other wool to do it with?
Yes, you can,
but you've got to make sure.
So all these patterns are designed to use 2 strands at the same time.
Right.
So each one you use two balls at once.
Oh, okay.
So you've got to make sure if you're going to do that you either get wool that's exactly the same weight and meterage and knits at the same, so that you again can use 2 strands at once.
Okay, perfect. So it's
and you need to do your little tension square to make sure.
Of course, that's what I was looking at, the tension square
right.
there. Or you could just buy retreat in different colours.
Yes.
It's just if you don't. What we're saying is if you don't like these colours, you can make it in other colours, but make sure you either get the same retreat wool or you get exactly the same weight and ball as the ones that those have come from. Right. So what are you going to show us today then?
Shall we do the check one first? That's
the blue and white one.
Yes, I'm going to show you some of the little patterns.
Yeah.
In them. So as you can see, because I only had 1 ball of each.
Right.
And if you're knitting them and you get, obviously you're using 2 strands at once and you've got an odd number of balls, that will get to the point where you can't use, you've got to divide a ball in half basically. So that's what I did.
Okay. Tina says, hello everyone. I'm loving the look of Shiloh. And Hayley says, hello everyone. Loving the burnt orange colour there. In that one, yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? Right, okay. So this is the one we're doing, and you're showing us this blue and white
how
check
to do this little check pattern. Now I got my colours all muddled up.
Okay, doesn't matter.
So my samples aren't the same colours as in your bundles, but it's how to do the particular patterns.
Can I say your pattern book looks very well worn?
So what happened was, when I took it home after the last show, it was here for me to collect, and I put my travel mug in with it, and the little bit of coffee that was in the bottom just caught the edges,
okay,
so I had to just put it to dry on the radiator.
Right, okay.
Okay, so we've got a 6-row pattern. I've done the first 2 rows, which are just plain knit rows.
Okay, so hang on. You really were serious about you have double...
Yes, I wasn't just making it up.
No, don't mean making it up. But I thought you had 2 balls of wool going at the same time, as in 2 balls of wool, not 4 balls of wool going at the same time.
No, 4 balls. It actually gives your knitting a really nice effect to have the 2 strands.
I'm sure, because these feel gorgeous. They feel
And it's ever
fantastic.
so soft. Because some wool yarn, some yarns that are made of wool can be a bit scratchy.
Yes, yeah, these
But
are.
this isn't at all. It's really nice. Okay, so on our row 3, we slip 1 purlwise and then we knit 2. So I'm slip 1 with my main colour, and then I'm going back to my check colour and I'm knitting 2, and I'm going to do this all the way along. It starts to make your little box of square. So we're slipping it off in a purlwise direction. Now what I've got to do is make sure I carry my yarn across as well.
Right.
No, I don't need to carry my yarn across. I'm going
Don't,
to ignore
then.
that. That's later on.
So what stitches are you doing? Sorry, I'm
So it's
lost.
just a normal knit stitch.
Right.
You take it this stitch that we're slipping, we're taking off purlwise, because
Yeah,
then
'cause
when
that's
you come to do it back along, it's not twisted. It feels
Okay,
right.
okay. Susan's loving seeing some knitting today. Thank you, Susan.
This is a nice pattern actually to do, because it's quite easy but looks really complicated.
So that's
doesn't
why we've
it?
got so much yarn in each bundle, because you're
Yes.
using 2 balls at the same time. Or 4 balls at
Absolutely.
the same time, aren't you?
So we're going back across, we're slipping 1, so that's your navy colour again, and then you're purling 2. So on the last 2 rows, you haven't actually knitted the bit that kind of makes the vertical bit of your little block.
Right.
You've just slipped those off.
So when you say slipped off, you just pass
So,
it from
so if
one
you can see,
needle
I'm not
to the
actually
next.
knitting or purling
Yeah.
that, just passing it across, absolutely. Nice thing as well about doing things with nice chunky wools like this is it grows very fast.
Yes. Obviously, you've only done like however many stitches you've done across. But
Yes,
you'd be
I've just
doing
done
the
a
whole
small
width of
sample.
the jumper, wouldn't you?
Yes. Okay. But it gets boring if you just see me doing the same, like for miles.
Didn't like to say.
Yeah. So row 5, we're going back to our blue yarn.
Yeah.
We're going to knit 1. Then we're going to slip 2 purlwise. So this time we're slipping off our
Oh, okay.
those ones, and we're doing that all the way.
Do we have to take the yarn with us? Oh,
No.
no, right, fine.
So like that.
Oh, so you're only knitting
So now
the colour that you're on. So we're on navy blue at the moment.
Yeah, so
you're
it's not like fair rail where you're picking up different ones on your row. We're just
Yeah, you're just dropping, but you're only knitting navy blue on this, then slipping
Yes.
the white will be the white on mine.
That is correct.
So now you go back.
So now we're going to knit 1.
Yeah,
We're going to put our yarn forward.
yeah,
We're going to slip those 2 off.
yeah.
And then we're going to pop our yarn back round to then knit the next navy one.
Okay.
You've got to make sure that you move your yarn, otherwise it'll be stuck at the front
Right.
when you're slipping those, the box bits.
Is this all
back.
in the instructions in like abbreviations?
It
and
is,
everything?
yes. So it says K1, YF, SL2P, YB.
Of course, yeah.
But at the front, as with all knitting patterns, there is a glossary.
Yeah.
So,
But also, if you're not going to be buying this as a beginner, are you? This is going to be somebody who's done knitting and know what they want out of it. So they're going to understand all the abbreviations and things.
Well, that's right. It actually is a really nice, straightforward pattern, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I just thought it might be, kind of, if somebody's just starting, they might not want to spend, £73 on a project. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Although it's actually a really bargain price for West Yorkshire Spinners.
No. I'm not saying it's that. But if you're just starting off and you think, I don't know if I enjoy doing this yet. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's not a big investment to be. You're doing
So
big investment.
that's my little. That's the 4 rows that you do for your little boxy bit, and then you go back to the beginning, and you've just got 2 rows of knit with your navy. So it's a really straightforward pattern.
Yeah.
There's no trying to loop yarn across or anything like that.
But you think it's going to be more
And
complicated.
actually, there's a
than that,
lot less knitting than you realise because you're slipping things. all
Yeah,
the
no,
time.
exactly. If you're going along the road, especially going along the navy blue road, you're slipping most of the grey ones off, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then, when you start this, do you start at the bottom? If you're doing the actual jumper, would you start at the bottom
Yes,
doing
you
the rib?
would. It's a very straightforward knit one, purl one rib.
Uh-huh.
And your sleeve, because you mentioned the sleeve, it's got a slight twist in it.
Uh-huh.
No, it's not. It's a rib as well. Sorry,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a knit two purl one rib. So
Okay.
So it's a little bit of a rib effect, but
Yeah.
not exactly like your bottom rib.
It's almost lacy, the sleeve. It's nice. So what you knit so many rows, and then when you start on the armhole, I suppose you start dropping. What's it called? Not reducing.
Decreasing.
Decreasing.
Yes, it tells you how long to make it, and then with a raglan you tend to cast off at the beginning to make
okay.
it smaller and smaller and to get that triangle shape.
Uh-huh.
So it's probably the easiest one in the book, actually, one of the knitted.
Uh-huh.
That and the stripy one.
Okay,
They're
so
probably the two most straightforward patterns.
I'm
in
going
the
to
book.
ask what might be. I know there's no such thing as a silly question. So do you knit a front and a back and two sleeves?
Yes.
And then sew it together?
Yes. So then you join your raglan sleeves,
Mm-hmm.
seams, so these ones on the shoulders.
Right.
And then you will pick up round your neck to
Oh, of
knit
course,
your
because you need to
neckline.
knit the neckline, yeah. Of
and then
course.
you'll stitch it.
Stitch down the side.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's fascinating to watch it come together. You know what I mean? Like when you've got your front and your back and then you put your sleeves on. So you've still got a flat cross shape almost, haven't you? Because your front
Yes.
and your back are flat, but your
Yes.
sleeves are sewn together. No, your sleeves aren't sewn together. You've only sewn them in here. Then you knit the neck.
Yes,
And
and
then
can
you do the side
stitch up your
seams and
sides.
the sleeve seam.
Okay, so there, over your 6 rows, you've got your nice check pattern coming through.
Lovely. Now, if you bought the book and you've made the blue and white one, you think, well, I'd like to make it again, but I want to make it thinner. Can you use the same pattern but on thinner needles? Would that not work?
It wouldn't come out big enough.
Oh, it would come out little. Of course it
It
would.
would.
Yeah.
That would be the problem.
No.
You
no,
could try.
it's-
I mean, if you were a really competent knitter and you understood about sizing and tensions and things, you could work it out.
Yeah, no. But that's silly. That's it's only because I don't knit sort of thing. But yeah, so if you
But
use
you
more-
could use the pattern in a straightforward jumper, I think. Say you'd got a pattern for a normal stocking stitch jumper.
Yeah.
You could probably do a pattern like that if you wanted to.
Oh,
in it.
so then you'd have the right amount of stitches on your needle.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me,
You
the
could-
phone ring. It's never happened before. But you could do that pattern, but using your normal size needles and just create
I don't
that
see
check
why
and
not.
everything.
Yeah, I think you could.
How lovely.
It's a nice pattern. It's such an easy pattern, but
Okay.
it looks really complicated.
Yeah. Now the phone's ringing in the gallery. They don't know where the phone is.
Has it never rung before?
No. Oh, now she's picked up and it's carried on ringing. Okay, then, so that's that one. Let me just recap that. So you need to buy the book, which is your $9.95. And then you need to buy your bundle of blue and white here, which is just exquisite, isn't it? Well, it's not white, is it? You've got your blue, which is your soothe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. And then your pure, 2 of those. Because the only place the pure appears is up and down the front. You know, I'm saying that.
Yes, it's not on the.
Yeah, it's on the back as well, yeah. Because sometimes they do jumpers, don't they, where the pattern's just on the front.
True.
£63.99, £63.99, plus your book for $9.95. Right, we have no idea. If you're ringing, we can't pick the phone up because it carries on ringing when we pick the phone up. Yes, like a Benny Hill comedy sketch. Righty-ho. Right, then this one. Should we go? Are you doing anything from that?
No,
You're
but
not?
we
We'll
can
talk
have a
about
chat about it.
This is the most popular. I caught it, don't worry. This is the most popular. Look at those gorgeous colours. This is the most popular bundle. So for $16.99, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 balls. You get the. I can't remember the name of that one. Oh, there's the phone again. Tranquil, Pure, and Peace. Right? And that's enough to make either the cardigan or the jumper of Frida. Right? So we've obviously got the jumper here. There's the jumper. Now we're not doing a sample list, but we can talk through it, can we?
Yes, because it's a really, really... the reason I didn't do a little sample of it was because it's so straightforward. Where you've got the little fleck, sort of slightly bobbly stitch that makes the pattern, that is simply a purl stitch.
Oh.
And all the rest is knitting.
Oh, because it looks almost like a kind of little not basket weave, but it kind of does it just every now and it's nice.
Yes.
But every now and then there's just a stitch going the opposite way.
It's literally a purl stitch in between all the knitting. And I think it looks particularly effective because you're working with these 2 strands.
Oh, yes. Oh, so this is exactly the same
Exactly
then?
the same. You're working with 2 strands. All the patterns in this book use 2 strands of yarn at a time.
Now, when you're knitting it, I imagine this is going to look a bit weird because your neckline is actually really quite low on this, isn't it? Because that's where you'd knit from the bottom, wouldn't you? Up to there and do what you did earlier. But then the neckline here, normally you'd work up to here, wouldn't you? But it's actually, the neckline starts here, sort of thing.
It is quite a low, yes, I'm just looking at the picture. Yes, it is. She's got it, she's wearing it with it turned down.
Oh,
like a little roll neck.
Have a quick look.
On page 20, on page 28.
Yes.
It is called a roll neck.
The little, what did you call these? The pearl
sort of
stitches.
little fleck, yeah.
They look really pronounced in the pictures, don't they? Where it's a little bit more subtle, I think, in the real thing. So basically, it's that out of all of them, this is very simple.
Really is, yes.
And again, you do the front, the back, the sleeves.
2 sleeves, absolutely. It's not a raglan sleeve. There is just a set-in normal sleeve.
Okay, that's not. Oh, that's knitted at a separate time. You knit that separately then.
Yes. And then, so when you get to the neckline with this, it'll divide. So you'll knit up to one shoulder, and then you'll come back and knit up to the other shoulder because you've got that round neck.
Yeah.
And then again, you join the right shoulder seam, and then you pick up your stitches to knit your neck.
Oh,
so you're not knitting it in the round, you're knitting it straight.
Okay. It's fascinating. There's only 5 of the bundles left now, but remember. The yarn, the wool is $63.99. The book is $9.95. You might already have the book, and right suddenly, so the book is there. You go. I'll take that out. This is $63.99. The book there is $9.95. $9.95. But it has got 5 patterns in it. It makes them £2 a pattern. Remember. Beautiful. Right, so what have you got next to show us?
Shall I show you the cable, the nice 2-colour cable?
Oh, yes, so that's that one there, the grey.
Your greys. I, again, have got my colours all wrong.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think, I'm going to say it's not Katharine's fault at all, whatsoever. It's our fault, but it doesn't matter because it's the principle is the same, isn't it?
It is.
So we're doing now, I think they look like big vertebrae. Going down, but have they got a name? Is it just a big cable?
It is a version of a cable, yes,
right.
Absolutely. And I've not seen a cable done in more than one colour before, actually.
Oh, okay.
It makes it look really different,
doesn't it? So this is just a cardie now. This is the Bodie cardie. Okay, right. So
what I've done is the cable panel is 16 stitches wide, so that's what I've got on my needle there.
Lovely.
And I've done the first 6 rows, which are just plain stocking stitch rows, so knit and purl.
Right.
But you've got your first 4 stitches are in knit, then you've got 8 stitches in your contrast colour, which in yours will be soft grey, and then your last 4 stitches in your main colour, which is the dark grey for you. Okay, so then when we get to the cable part, we're going to slip 4 stitches onto our cable needle. This is not a particularly big cable needle. If you can get a fatter one, it's no bad thing.
So do you get cable needles?
You can get them in different thicknesses, although I've never found really, really thick ones, but possibly because I've not looked very hard.
Right. We haven't got them in stock, the big thick ones, but
okay. So that's going to the back of the work. And then, where's my black gone? Because it's not a very. That's what I didn't want to happen.
Oh,
because it's not a very big cable needle. It's all right. I can pick them up. Okay, so that's going to the back.
Does a cable needle have to have that kink in it?
It doesn't. You get straight ones.
Okay.
What it needs to do is have a point at each end. So if you haven't got a cable needle, you can use a double pointed needle. It's just a longer thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm getting in a right mess.
All over, they say. Nice jumper. Love the huge roll neck.
Haven't got enough hands, clearly. Right, we're going to knit 4.
Right.
Just stay out of the way, cable needle. That's it. I'll be all right when I get going. I'm just going to let it sit on the table.
Your needles, what size needles do you want?
These are the big ones. These are the 12
mil
ones.
Mine, yeah.
And then, when I've knitted my 4 in the black, I'm going to then get my 4 that are that keep falling off my cable needle and knit those. It's really just because my cable needle isn't quite fat enough in comparison to my knitting needles. Here we go. Now, because you've got 2 colours here, you've got to just make sure that your yarn's travelling across the back of your work as well, so that you don't get holes.
Oh, so this is one where the yarn has to go across the back?
Yes, and I tend to do it every 3 stitches.
Okay.
That's kind of a decent amount, so I'm just going to loop it over for that last stitch. Okay, so that's going to do that. So you can see that that needle's going outwards. Then these 4 are going on a needle and they're going to the front. And actually, the fact that it's 2 colour, you can really see which bits are going where.
Of course. Oh, yes, exactly. Yeah. So when you say the front, it's nearest to you, isn't it?
Nearest to me,
yeah.
Absolutely, the front of the work. So then I'm going to knit the next 4. I'm just going to take my black across so that I'm not having. You don't want big long loopy bits at the back of your work. So
well, no, because that means when you put the jumper on, they're going to get caught on your fingernails and things, aren't they?
Okay, and then we're going to knit these 4 off my cable knit. But obviously, when you're doing it on the whole thing, you're going to have a lot more stitches on there as well, which is going to, I think, probably help you.
Oh, okay.
Rather than hinder you.
Can you get, when you're knitting, can you get kind of like, I don't know what the word is, like repetitive strain on your fingers?
Yes.
Because they're quite...
I've got arthritis in my little finger from years of knitting.
Why have I got mine? I've never knitted.
And lots of ladies, including me, have get carpal tunnel from years of knitting, from that repetitive thing.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I can't do lots of at any one time. I can only do a little bit at a time. But, you know,
you do so many things, that doesn't matter, does it?
Well, really? That's all right. I've always got like 10 million projects on the go, so that's okay.
Have you started next Christmas's quilt shirt?
No. I've decided maybe I shouldn't do that this year.
Well, it's mid-February already, you know.
Well, it is. I'd never get it done, would I? Right, where have I got to? So that's row 7. So row 8, we're going to go back along. So we're just purling back along, obviously with the right colour, that the black is black and the white is white. Yeah. In yours it'll be greys. But again, because they're in groups of 4, I would every 3 stitches, just so it's closing up any gaps. So if I took it straight across now, move my hands. Oh look, a pencil is handy as a cable needle when using chunky cable patterns. That's a really good idea.
That's from Linda in Swansea.
Yeah, that is a good idea. So if I just took the yarn straight across the back without sort of weaving it in as I go, I'd end up with a bit of a hole. Yeah. Yeah, whereas if I weave it in as I go, then I'm not going to get that in the same way. So not all the patterns are done on the 12 mil. They're a real mixture of the 10 and the 12.
Oh, okay. Okay. Does it just mean the stitches are bigger then?
Even bigger, yes. Yeah. Some of them you're doing your rib on the 10 and then changing to the 12.
Oh, I see. So it's not even the different patterns are 10 and 12. No. It's actually within the pattern. They can change,
you usually do a rib on a smaller needle.
Oh, okay.
Just to give it the stretchiness that a rib needs.
don't think I own a jumper.
Do you not?
I'm just suddenly thinking, because I used to have so many. I'd knitted cardigans, knitted tank tops and everything. And I think now I haven't got a jumper.
What do you wear when you're cold then?
A fleecy, a hoodie.
Oh, okay. I'm a big cardigan wearer.
No, I used to have...
I have a lot of cardies.
I had my dad's old bottle green cardi with leather, you know, the buttons that were leather and they wrapped over like that. And I had it at college and I wore it for years and years. And it was just like, I didn't know I'd got it, I just took it. But it was like the thing I always went to go, maybe I should invest, maybe I should make.
So when I was at college, where I went to university in Hull, and near where I lived, there was a wool shop, and I used to go and buy yarn there, and I used to knit like massive sweaters for me and my friends and stuff. And it's still there. I found it on Instagram, and the wool shop's still there. They've been going 40 years, and I sent them a message going, I used to go to you all the time.
They were like, yeah.
Yeah, weirdly. Yeah.
Whatever. It was really weird because I'm writing a book, and I was writing about when I'd moved from Colchester to York, and I thought, I'll just Google where I used to live in York. It's changed. I would never find my house now if I tried to look for it. It's all completely changed. But it's frightening, isn't it, going back like that and looking at things. Anyway, so
we're then going to do how many rows? I'm on row 8, so 5 more rows where you just are knitting normally with the colours this way. But you can, if I do a couple more, you'll be able to see how the sort of pattern's going to come through.
Mm-hmm. Claire says the only time she had any aches in her hands was over December when I had a total of 32 crocheted pigs in blankets. I was doing about 2.5 a day. Why? Why?
I think, why not?
Yeah, why not? But when you see people who do make lovely cupcakes out of knitting, you're like, well, I can't eat them, can I?
Oh, but when my children were little, I used to take them to this group called Singing Sally. Singing Sally was this amazing woman. I don't know if she's still going. And she did this like little preschooler singing group. Every single prop was knitted.
Oh,
we had a knitted cake store, we had a knitted fruit and vegetable store, everything. And it was brilliant because she used to do the songs and the children had to go up and pretend to spend their money in the cake shop and things like that. And it was all knitted and it was just amazing. So
it sounds like you enjoyed it more than the children.
Well, it did get to that point, yeah. My eldest Anna really loved it. And she still loves singing. And then Henry wasn't keen, but I liked it. And then by the time I got to Helena, she was just like, no, Mum, no.
You're joking? I always find it, I say this so often, fascinating that like my brother and Mike and Julie have got 3 children and they all look alike, but you would never, personality-wise, academically-wise, thought-wise, they're so different. And yet they've all come from the same gene pool, haven't they?
It's amazing.
And
really lovely, actually, that they aren't
you wouldn't
all
want 3 the same, would you?
No, my 3 are all really different, but all lovely in their own way.
Oh, yeah, of course. And it's as a slight outsider, as an uncle, you can go, oh, she's got that from her dad, or he's got that from you know, you can see like when Mikey has a temper tantrum, you think, well, that's come from Julie, and things, you know, kind of things like that. It's just fun. I mean, in a nice way, obviously, in a nice way.
Yes.
Anyway.
So you can see how that's split your cable out. You see how it's growing, starting to look like the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it fascinating?
So you go up a little bit like this, and then it comes back in again.
Yeah.
So I'm going to skip. I'm not going to make it as long as the pattern says because you just carry on like that.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and then, well, actually, I'll have to do one more because I have to do it on the knit row.
Okay. Tina's currently knitting Easter chicks in the evenings. I've knitted in excess of 50 so far. They did give me handache after the first dozen or so, but I'm still going, and the handache has now gone. Tina, how many friends have you got if you've knitted 50 of them already?
Are they for a charitable thing, maybe?
Oh, maybe.
So you just want to be careful with the 2 strands that you get them both round.
Yes.
So like there, I'd only caught one.
Yeah.
So you just want to make sure you're getting both each time, else you will get some weird loops.
Would you, if you did that, would you have to go back and unpick or drop stitch? What would you call it? Unpicking, unknitting?
If you have to unravel a lot, it's called frogging. You pull it off your needle and you have to pull it right back. But you try not to do that if you can help it because it's really hard to pick all your stitches up. So you can, yes, you can take it back. You could possibly, sometimes you can rescue it on the way back across.
Oh, okay.
If you've dropped a stitch, you can then find it and pick it up when you go back across.
Right. And then I know we're making you stand up at a desk, but with 4 balls of wool, would you be sitting in an armchair or something?
I sure would.
And
yes.
where would your wool be? Because it's all.
So I would. So you can get. If I was going to do this, so you can get really nice bowls that you put your yarn in,
Right.
and they've got a little sort of, almost like a little hole in the side that the yarn feeds through, so it stops it getting all tangly.
Yeah.
But also just things like if you've got like an old yogurt pot with a lid, and you can put a hole in it so that the yarn feeds through.
Oh, okay.
So you can do things to kind of keep it separate.
There's no yoghurt in it. Just take the yoghurt out first.
But yes, you want to do it when you haven't got animals around too much because they'll be like, oh, balls of wool rolling everywhere. Okay, so then when we get to row 15, we are going to then just cable them back to where they were at the start. So the first 4 go to the back.
Yeah.
And I'm going to knit the cream, 4 of the cream and then 4 of the black.
You really do need 3 hands at some points, don't you, in knitting? Yes.
I think this is harder because I've got such a small sample actually. I think it's easier when you've got more stitches.
Tina says the chicks are for RUH in Bath for their gift shop, and 2 different air ambulance shops is here in Wiltshire. I'm not sure what RUH is. Hospital. Hospital. Oh, Tina, that's lovely. Claire says she picks up a drop stitch or corrects a knit purl mistake with a crochet hook.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, you can go back and find it. But I definitely need a fatter cable needle.
Yeah.
Top tip, if you're going to attempt it, get a fatter cable needle.
Yes, exactly. Or use a pencil.
Or I think that's a really good idea.
Could you use a piece of doweling and just sharpen off the end a little bit?
You could.
Just thinking.
You could. No, hang on, I'm doing that wrong.
No, you're doing that wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, you could whittle a stick.
Yeah. You could.
Sorry, this one's going forward to take it back out. That's where it slipped. There we go. Look, you see, so I did manage to pick it up on my way back.
Brilliant.
So you've only got cabling on like row 7 and row 15. The rest is actually just knitting.
It's the Royal United Hospital. Thank you, Tina. Tina.
I've forgotten to carry my yarn across. I'm just going to pull it right across, but obviously you wouldn't normally do that. Okay, so hopefully you can see how then that has pulled it back into the middle.
Yeah.
So you're going to start again and take it up and it'll go out again.
It goes out again.
So that's how you do it.
Fantastic. So I'll just recap. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say I like this two-tone cable.
But also, like you say, you can see if you've gone wrong, you can see it because you'll be able to go, oh, that's not quite in the right place. Right, so the bundle flat, $79.99. You get all of this wool here. You get sole, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of those. And you get 2 of your harmony there. $79.99, but remember, you do need to buy the book to get the pattern as well. I've got something else to show. Crikey, it's me whittling away, whittering away.
Well, this is a stitch that's in the book, but you actually don't have a kit for, so I can show it you if you
okay,
like.
so what is it in the book?
So it's for this, it's for the first jumper cardigan, the Shiloh one,
Shiloh.
And these lovely sleeves, which I think are very on-trend sleeves.
Oh, yes, very.
I've got what's called a bubble stitch at the bottom.
So Shiloh can be a jumper or a cardigan, and it's like a bunch of grapes at the bottom of your arm.
Yeah, bubble stitch.
Bubble stitch. Okay, let's do a bubble stitch then.
Okay, so you can see I've done one set there, and you work in. I've got 5 rows in stocking stitch. And so for our bubble row, you knit one, and then it says knit K5B, and what it means is you're actually going to take next stitch back down 5 rows
Right.
and knit right down below it. Now the easiest way I found to do this with this thick yarn was actually just with my fingers. So 1, 2, 3. So if you can see, I'm like pulling the stitches down.
Yeah.
Yeah. 4. This is my 5th one. So I'm going to pick that one up. And all those other little, it's like I've dropped them all. And then I'm going to knit them all together.
Oh.
And it's going to take it back down, make that bubble. So I'm going to knit 3. No, yeah, I'm knitting 3, and I'll do it again to show you. Because the one at the end's not going to show very well.
So let me just see, how many balls of wool do you need?
1, 2, 3.
So you need
4.
oh, I can't read this.
You
so
need,
it says jumper quiet.
so for the largest size you need 11.
Oh, okay, I've got it. The
For
smallest
the
size
jumper
you
of the
need
card.
7.
Yes.
Okay.
So somewhere between 7 and 11 balls. So you
So you could buy one of these bundles and make one of these out of this one here, yeah.
okay. So then you're knitting that down below, and it bunches it together and makes that bubble shape appear.
Uh-huh.
I'd not come across this stitch particularly
Oh,
before.
hadn't you?
No, but I like it.
But then, also,
gives
we'll
a really
come to
nice
talk about the jumper
texture.
in a minute. This is different because there's no rib on this jumper. And after you've done your bubble stitch, it goes into normal stitching.
It does. Yes, it does. And the back and the front are a rib.
Oh, that's why there's no rib at the bottom, because the whole thing's rib.
Yeah.
Oh, live and learn, don't you?
I just thought it was a nice stitch to show.
No,
you.
no, it's very unusual.
So, but you've got to kind of keep your eye on it so that you're dropping the right amount, because you've still got to knit all those bits.
Right.
And you've got to pull it quite tight so you don't get lots of loops. But
So
as you
does
do
that
it, can
mean
you
you
see the
lose-
little bubbles
You
appearing?
lose lots of stitches each row.
Well, no, because you're still knitting that stitch.
Yeah, but you knitted 6
So you've
of
got
them
the same number. Yeah, but it's vertical. You're going downwards rather than knitting 6
my
along.
My bad. So you're
Yeah.
not taking 6 off the needle.
No.
So it's 6 downwards.
No, you're
I
just
see.
taking the rows back.
Right.
But because you're knitting them all in, you get a little bit of
Well, I like the other side better.
you get a little bit of a sort of bunchiness on the back because you've got all those strands.
Oh, I like that side. Anyway, yeah.
Well, you could try that.
Anyway, show us how to
too.
do it again. Just sorry, do you want to show it?
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
take notice this time.
Right, let me just do my 3. 1, 2, 3.
Right.
Okay, so the next stitch, you're going to pull down. So 1, 2,
Oh, I
3,
see.
4, and then you're going to pick up that 5th stitch,
Yeah.
and all those little ones you've just pulled off, and you're going to knit them all together. Pull it nice and tight, and then your little bubble pops through.
I wonder if that design was found when somebody made a mistake and thought, oh, I'll just knit those together.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that I hadn't seen it before, and now I've seen it, I'm seeing it everywhere. Do you
Yeah.
know how that happens? Yeah? So can you see how they're coming
Yeah,
here
oh,
then?
they're lovely, aren't they?
It's a really nice fit, really nice texture.
Bubble.
So if someone's bought the pattern and wants to go at it, that's how you do that stitch.
Oh, that's lovely, that one. Yeah, so if you bought the book, that's how you do the stitch if you buy the, if you're making the, should we say it was called the Shiloh?
Yes.
Now, I know we're not knitting the Uma, but have you looked at this at all?
Which one's the Uma?
It's the hat, the scarf.
Oh, well,
and
let's, yes. I looked at all of them because, as I say, I wasn't sure which ones we were doing.
Okay.
And I tried to choose the interesting bits.
Yeah, now we've got a bundle of yarn there, $29.99. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 balls of the green. It's beautiful. Again, you do need to buy the book for the pattern. But it's not just a straightforward scarf, is it? There's different sort of shapes to it. There's like waffles and stripes and things. You might not
So you've got a normal rib.
Yeah.
Well, it's called a farrow rib, where you knit 2 and purl 1.
Right.
This gives you like that sort of a chunky rib like you've got on the sleeve of the navy sweater.
Right, okay.
That's your farrow rib. And then you've got some waffle stitch. And that again is just a combination of how many you knit and how many you purl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that the order they come out in. So that's almost giving you like a little check effect, the waffle stitch.
Yeah.
it's those 2 patterns in the scarf. You just do blocks of each. So they're almost a little bit patchworky, aren't they?
Now, but you don't knit them all separately and sew them together. You carry on. You just change the stitch after you've got certain way.
You do it tells you that you do 18 rows of your farrow rib, and then you have a plain knit row, and then you do 16 rows of your waffle stitch.
Okay,
so
brilliant.
it tells you how many you're doing of each.
Yeah. How lovely. And then the hat basically is, I'm just reading it now, you just 8 rows in rib, like on the hand warmers, but then you just change and do some knit 6. Okay, next row it says right side, knit 6 or 7.
Yeah.
What does N1 mean?
It means make one. In fact, I've got this as a little thing. There's 3 different ways that they increase in this book.
Oh, that means increase.
Yeah. So there's different ways of making stitches. So if I show you the M1.
Yeah.
The M1 is literally picking up the loop between the 2 stitches, like that.
Right.
And then knitting it. And you've made yourself an extra stitch.
Oh, okay.
So you do M1 like that.
Yeah.
Then there's a purl-wise one.
Yeah.
So you do that exactly the same, but you just do it as if you were doing it purl-wise. Knit it and knit a purl stitch.
Yeah.
And then the other one you do is a PFB, which is a purl into the front and the back of the stitch.
Right.
So that one you purl, and then you move your yarn round, and then you knit one. So that's the other way that they increase in the book.
I've just realised we're the pom-pom makers in this hour, because there's a pom-pom on top of that hat.
Is there?
Big pom-pom on top
I'd missed that.
You can't, no, I can't see it on the photo. I just read here, using C, make a pom-pom and attach to the top of the hat. Didn't even see that. Katharine, that's brilliant. When are you back in?
Not till the 11th of March. I've got a little rest.
Oh, and is that here or there? Sewing Street or Yarn Lane?
Both.
Oh, okay, 11th of March. Brilliant. That's not that far away, actually.
No, it'll come round sooner than I think.
Well, thank you ever so much for
Thank
coming
you.
today. It's always a pleasure. Right, so the book, very popular, £9.95. You get 5 patterns in here. Can't even find what that is. 5 patterns in there, and they are so thorough. The instructions and everything like that tell you everything. Some of them you can make jumpers and cardigans, others you just make a straightforward jumper. £9.95. You talking to me then, Hannah? Oh yeah, loads and loads of these are gone. Loads and loads of them are gone. £9.95. Any kits you want me to yeah. Okay, this one over here. Right, this been very, very popular, very limited on this one now. I'll tell you exactly how many. We'll put the graphics in. So, this is for this jumper here. There's 2 bundles left. That's all. $63.99. Do what? There we go. So you get Peace 3, you get Pure 3, and you get, I want to say Cinnamon, but it's not, Tranquil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. £63.99. Obviously you need to buy the book to get the pattern, but the yarn on its own is £63.99. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, I just want to do one other bundle, if that's all right, because I love this green. Oh, sorry. I love this. I'll hold it up to the camera like that. You get 5 balls. Look at the colour. Just beautiful, isn't it? That's for your scarf, your hat, and your mittens, that one. Purpose, it's called. And it's reminding Hannah of green pasta. Oh, yeah. And you have to buy the book £9.95 for the pattern. Right, not for the pasta. We're not selling pasta today, Hannah. Right, when's Yarn Lane back, please? Are you on your own, Jeremy? Sam Speedo is in on Wednesday. Brilliant, fantastic. Now, make sure you check out on everything in your basket. I know there's been a lot going on. Make sure you check out, but remember, you have to buy the book to get the pattern, right? Thank you so much, Katharine. I'll see you very soon, and I'll see you tomorrow morning on Sewing Street. Don't be late.